PowerPoint presentation just for the, yeah. So this, you might think about this as the current, arguably standard model of human personality. And it's a model that, this is only half of it, by the way. There's another slide that has the other half. This shows the personality of a person laid out in a hierarchy from most general to most specific. It's sort of analogous to that little drawing I showed you of behaviors at the bottom and then higher order descriptors at the top, although they don't map onto each other one-to-one, and that's actually one of the things I'm trying to figure out. It's very difficult to map the trait theories directly onto the narrative and the clinical theories. All right, so at the highest level of resolution, here's how people can differ from one another. They can be industrious or orderly, and those two aspects are quite highly intercorrelated, but sufficiently differentiable so that the differences are interesting. Industriousness and orderliness seem to predict different things. So, for example, industriousness seems to be a better predictor of academic achievement than orderliness does, even though they both clump under conscientiousness. And then there's volatility and withdrawal for emotional stability, or neuroticism. It's described different ways. You're neurotic if you feel a lot of negative emotion, and you're emotionally stable if you don't. The negative emotions that are associated with neuroticism, we thought for a long time it was all negative emotions that were associated with neuroticism, but it seems to be more like pain and anxiety. And pain is somewhat equivalent to the emotion you feel if you're frustrated or disappointed or grieving, and anxiety seems to be the emotion you feel when you're subject to uncontrollable or unexpected circumstances, or when you're subject to cues of frustration, disappointment, or grief. So, volatile people don't really seem to avoid because of their negative emotion, although their emotions bounce a lot, especially their negative emotions. So if you're associated with someone who's volatile, what you would observe is that they seem to overreact to things. They get more irritated than the circumstance might seem to indicate. And their emotional response to things, on the negative end, is relatively unpredictable day to day. So there's a lot of variability and a lower threshold for the experience. People who withdraw are people who appear to be stopped by their experience of negative emotion. So if they're afraid of something, they won't do it. Where the volatile person, they might do it, but they'll complain a lot while they're doing it. So we don't know a lot about the difference between volatility and withdrawal yet, because those have been recently extracted out using statistical means, and they seem stable, but exactly what they predict yet, apart from the few things that I've tentatively suggested to you, isn't yet clear.